October 5th, 2014. The other side of the world! It's an accomplished feeling to note that I have physically made it to the opposite side of the world. And it truly is 12-hour time zones ahead. The flights have been uneventful so far, which can be a good, easy thing when traveling. I had a window seat with no one next to me on my way to Tokyo and Eurasia. I slept majority of the way with wake-ups for meals. We had a chicken dinner dish with a roll and butter and brown rice. I am eating every morsel because I have not been positive when or where my next meal is coming from. The next light snack was a surprisingly non-mushy turkey sandwich accompanied by a petite tub of vanilla gelato. Scrumptious. They also served an egg, cheese, and sausage broccoli puff in the quote-unquote morning, right before we arrived in Tokyo at 4 p.m. The Japanese-American guy next to me did not move the entire flight. He slept facing straight upwards with his eyes lightly shut, whether I opened the shade or not. He did not even budge to go to the bathroom. I hopped over him when I had to go. When flying over the Aleutian Strait, the sun was blinding because the ocean was frozen. The ice had this warm, pinky, golden, reflecting glow to it. It was gorgeous, but I closed the shade, and when I closed the shade, there was a brown haze filming my vision, which was due to the extreme brightness and retina burn. Thus, I shut my eyes and went to sleep. Arriving at Tokyo and Eurasia was a piece of cake. I was so excited to sight land on the other side of the world. The clouds and rain made it visibility difficult, although it was still exciting to seek green beneath the thunderous rolling gray clouds. It reminded me of that scene in Avatar when they are riding the dragons through the clouds. It was that sort of excitement. At the airport, the crowds just followed the signs for international departures. Up one escalator to security check where everything is clean and the security guards are pretty, petite, and polite. It's like a smaller, more patient, less intimidating version of the U.S. security. They even give you slippers when you take your shoes off. For a moment, I felt as if I were headed to the spa. This experience continued around the corner in the properly directional signage to the ladies' restroom. The toilet had buttons for a highly or low-powered bidet, along with a flushing sound, quote-unquote, flushing sound button. For all the times you've had to drop a number 2 in public and you've been embarrassed by the plop, well, this flushing sound button takes care of that. How fantastic. Gate 27 was around the corner from security, so after taking my time finishing up in the ladies' room in one of the dressing chambers, I did some yoga stretches discreetly, then wandered around for a bit. The airport had all the duty-free shops with bright lights and makeup counters. The only difference is there are no fat people. Seriously, everyone is Asian and slim and friendly and beautiful. I stopped in a candy shop to check out Japanese snackos. Yummy. I'm gonna love junk rice puffs here. Shrimp or wasabi flavored. And in the delicate candy shop, they had an origami exhibit as well. All the colors and folds, the tiniest little folds were impossible. My flight to Bangkok, I slept the whole time. I woke up with one yummy rice snack and tea. Dinner was Asian sticky rice and crab with Asian noodles. I'm really not hungry anymore. The couple next to me in line is a couple from Denver visiting their daughter who is here in Thailand for 3 months as well. Small world. Love Haley. This experience on these planes, oftentimes people complain about really long flights, and I've always loved flying. So having these 19 hours to myself to take everything in, to let it settle, to catch up on some sleep, to reflect on my past summer was really therapeutic. That glow outside of the window on the ice, I wish everybody could witness it, because words just can't do it justice. I mean, it was so bright, and it felt like this godly, euphoric presence almost, and it was pinky and warm and really heavenly almost, really calming. And it was an easy flight because that guy next to me did not move, and I slept pretty soundly with just time to wake up for the meals. The flight attendants were so nice. I would kind of wake up when the carts bustled by, and one of the ladies actually kind of had a joke. She's like, "Oh, we skipped you again," but the food was surprisingly good. I got a kick out of that cheesy egg puff. They were serving us breakfast, but we were landing, and it was now, because of the time zone change and time travel in the air, it was 4 p.m., but we were eating breakfast. So I just got a kick out of that. And the Tokyo airport, I was just bopping around. I mean, I was a little nervous to get the international gate, but I had 2 hours, and it was easy peasy, and it was clean, and there were hardly any people there when we arrived. So at the security gate, no joke, they slide slippers delicately onto your feet. So I felt like I was at the spa, and I thought the bathroom was absolutely comical. That there were 3 buttons on the toilet, and one was for a bidet, and one was for like this gurgling, flushing noise. And it didn't even flush the toilet. It just made the noise. And so, you know how you turn the faucet on sometimes when you are pooping in public, which I am not a huge fan of. This noise, like, button solves that issue. So it was just entertaining. And of course, I did a little bit of yoga, but I wanted to be discreet about it. The aloneness started to creep in Tokyo. But you just gotta stay active and keep yourself entertained. So I went to the origami exhibit, which was impressive and really cool. And then I kind of chatted with people. I mean, the family next to me, they were going to visit their daughter, who was in a similar situation, who was in Thailand for 3 months. And then there was another woman from Bangkok who, like, wanted to show me around, but I was sort of afraid and untrusting, even though no, like, gut instincts were going off, like she was a wacko, but I was, like, just trying to keep to myself. So it was a great flight. I barely remember the flight to, from Tokyo to Bangkok. I slept the entire time. I was so tired. And then the next adventure, I will tell you next time. Bye. I also forgot to mention how extraordinarily unbelievable it was to land. Because that marked a like completion of like, holy cow, I did it. I made it to the other side of the world. And I felt like I did. I think describing in my diary as being on one of the dragons. I don't know if that's what they're called in Avatar. And it's like Khaleesi. It's like just so ebullient to land. And it was so cloudy and not a lot of light, and I just remember going down through the clouds and just staring with this death stare out the window to see land, and I saw it, and it was tiny little spot of green because then the clouds cover would come in again, and then we just slowly rolled down through the clouds, and it was green, green, green everywhere, and we hit down, and I was so proud of myself for making it. So major takeaway there is just how important sometimes it is in life to have your experience come full circle. So yes, I had been thinking about getting on the plane and sitting in the plane, and I had that moment where I was taking off, and I was like, holy cow, it's happening. But when I landed, in my head, I thought, okay, this is real. I'm doing it. I made it. And I was really proud of myself for that. Thanks.